Are you normally fashionably late?
Yeah, quite often.
So people just know to expect that.
They know
so
to
I
expect
could have
that.
been late, and that would have been totally okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow. Then
Yeah.
I got every red light.
Oh,
Every red light. It was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
All I needed was a couple of trains and some construction yet, and that would have been...
And I was all the way in Portage la Prairie an hour ago. Watching a really good football game. It was really interesting because I was at one football game and I decided to do a live video to show them playing football because I'm on the 50-yard line. They're in front of me in the 50-yard line, and boom, they turn around and they do a touchdown. So tonight, they're on the 50-yard line. So I decided to film them to show the play because William's on the field, and boom, they do a touchdown.
Wow.
So it must be lucky. I got to keep doing that or something because each time they get a touchdown, which is fantastic. Is the green light on okay? Oh, perfect. So I'm going to just share this out to a couple of pages here just for fun and excitement. Oh, good volume. Very good.
I just wanted to check it.
Yeah, no, that's what I say. Good volume. Thank you. Because I was about to do that on my on mine to see if they could hear me. If everybody could hear us tonight.
Is this already going?
Yeah, we're already live.
Wow.
So we'll see what people are out there and everything else. Did you send the link to the Telegram people?
No, I did the new one. Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
So they can just click that link and come on and like and watch Canadian Trucking Magazine. And it's great to have people on tonight on a Friday night. It's a Friday night and we ain't got no money. But guess what? People are going to be really lucky tonight when I start writing the names, because tonight our Nzymes people, our beautiful Brenda here, is going to be willing to give away 30 prizes tonight.
I know.
30
right?
prizes.
That sounds a little bit crazy, but it maybe is a little bit, but that's okay.
But that's great because it'll give everybody a chance. Well, 30 people a chance to try Nzymes and see how good they are. And we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about what they do and why it's so great. Let me just go through some of the comments here. Mary Penner says, good evening, Dave and Brenda. And Radmax is in the background, or Rob, B.O.B. Bob, a.k.a. Robert.
Your brother.
My brother, a few other names I give him. My brother from the same mother.
Right?
Vicky Sharp says, hi, Dave. Craig Cowan says, good evening, Brenda.
Yes, I know him.
Yeah, Carla Mannix, hello, family. Maggie Perry, hi there. Tammy says, hello from rainy Vancouver Island. And Craig Cowan says, did William win? Yes, they did. It was a kind of a slaughter again. It was like 34-6 or something like that. It was, and Linda's there. Linda needs some of this for sure. Good evening, Dave and Brenda. You know what? I'm going to put Linda's name in right off the bat. I'm going to ask people to write down Nzymes with an N. N-Z-Y-M-E-S. To put Nzymes down. If you have a pet, if you have a furry friend, a cat or a dog, or
Horse.
if you yourself, or a horse, or you yourself want to feel good, because we have the human ones here we're going to talk about. So if you put that in there, we'll put your name in. Amy N says, hi guys, and look, she's got a puppy dog there. That's a friend of yours, Amy N?
Oh yeah, she is. She's somebody that I met, I don't even know what we're at now, if it's over a year ago. She had a lot of problems with one of her dogs, and when she first came along, she was such a mess. And like, she would like freak out about things and just she was really very tense about everything. I get it. People love their animals. And so as a joke, I put her ringer, her tone, if she texted or called me, it would be a siren. Because when Amy needed something, it was like you go now. And now she's one of my admins on the Nzymes Telegram channel.
Oh,
and also an
fantastic.
admin on we have another Telegram channel page too. And she's like a me now, and it's just fantastic to see how far she's come. And now
So
she's helping everybody with their animals.
She must have got the link then, because she's on here.
Yes.
And Glenn Cowie says, you sound good here in Scarborough. And Kara says, Gardner says, hey guys, go Brenda.
Yeah.
And Peggy Later Zakowski says, good evening, Dave and Brenda. And Amy says, pick me, pick me. Mark Chapeau says, good evening, everybody. And Craig Cowan, well, look, he's the first one to say enzymes. So we're going to put Craig in here. And Craig's been pretty lucky in winning lately with things, because he's won at Camp Hope some things. And now tonight you may be lucky. 30 people. Just write enzymes if you're interested in enzymes, and we're going to talk about it to show you why you should be interested. Frenchie says, good evening, Brenda and Glenn Cowie. I thought Brenda was Angie.
Really?
Yeah. And Patricia Tarr says, good evening, Dave and Brenda.
Awesome.
And Amy Ann says, hi, Bob and Brenda. Love enzymes. Stefan says, hi, weekend off. All right. Dave Erickson's in Niagara Falls says, good evening, guys. Gail Cross says, hi, hello, Dave. And Craig Cowan says, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, Craig. Red Shirt Friday, Craig. Thank you for your service. And Deborah Lowe says, good evening. First time watching from Minnesota.
Nice.
That's another person of yours?
Oh,
or?
well, I'm not, don't know, but
Yep.
I hope so.
But you know what? Winning in Minnesota, just put enzymes. Marcel Van Nievel.
Wow.
The moose is
That's
loose
where
is
he
on.
Where is he?
He is in Wyoming right now.
Wow.
In
Wow.
60, 70 mile an hour winds.
I don't even know what he looks like anymore.
I don't remember what he looks like.
No, it's...
He's only half the man he used to be, apparently. Yeah. And the Carl Freeman says, congratulations, Sabres. Patricia Tarr, congratulations, William and team. And Mary Penner says, way to go, William and Sabres. Amy N says, hi, Brenda and Dave. We love enzymes. Oh, and Carla Mannix has enzymes written down here, so I'm going to write Carla. And as soon as I catch up with comments here, we'll go and we'll tell them all about enzymes. We'll tell them what it does, how long it's been around. Oh, and Rhonda, as I'm going through here, I got to write names down because if I miss anybody, Rhonda, you're in the draw here. Whoops, Rhonda. I'm too busy looking down. And Rhonda R. I put down. And your name is in there.
So we have things then tonight for the animals, but we also have for the people. How are we going to determine?
You know what? We'll draw the names,
Yeah.
and we'll ask them what they'd like.
Okay.
And so if you're online and you win, we'll ask you what you like, just like Camp Hope, and you can choose. And then as it disappears, you're left with what's left. So if you aren't online, you're going to get something, but you won't get to choose. So that is the best way to do it, because some people will want for the pets and for your furry friends, and some people will want for themselves, depending what it is. And right now, I'm actually testing the product on Molly. And you know what I was thinking? You asked me if we noticed any change in Molly. I think there has been a change, because Molly's like a big-barreled pig kind of thing. She's wide, and Molly used to walk around the house all the time, I think exhausted. And I have noticed, since you mentioned to me, is there a difference? She's not walking around the house as much, going, and she's only been on it, what, about a week now?
Well, not. It would have been, you got it Saturday, so
Yeah.
you started, did you start Saturday?
I started Saturday as soon as we
Saturday,
got back.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6
Yeah,
days.
yeah. Marcel says he had a dog, but somebody
I
stole
know,
him.
right?
Yeah.
I know. That's what happens.
He
It
actually had a
happens.
dog? I didn't know he had a dog.
He did have a dog. He
Really?
was super cute. He was an old guy, and then he decided he didn't want to be on the truck anymore, so he got a young guy, and that little young guy found himself a girlfriend at my house, and I don't know, it's
They're
in love.
Kara Gardner, yeah, she's going to be at Camp Hope next weekend, I think, because she says, love this, Dave and Brenda, can't wait to be there next week. Camp Hope.
Kara is my best friend.
Oh.
And she lives out in, you might not know this, or you might know, in Meota, Saskatchewan.
Meota,
yeah,
yes.
It's by North Battleford or Jackfish Lake. So she's going to be here a week from now, and we get to be together. So we're going to do this again. You're going to get both of us.
And I'm going to be there too.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Right?
I know who she is. I've seen a picture of her. Yes.
Right?
She's a lovely lady. You almost look like twins. Hey,
know.
Brenda, ask Dave about the bikini.
About the bikini?
Yeah, he asked me if you were wearing a red shirt tonight or what you were wearing. I says, she's decided to wear a bikini for the thing.
No.
And he says, really? I said, yeah, really. Oh, and Frenchie has 3 dogs, so this would really work out good for you, Frenchie, especially when you hear about this. Frenchie B, put that in there. Carla Mannix, did I get her in already? I think so. Yeah. If I put your name in there twice by accident, you can only win once tonight. So because I may put it in twice by accident, I'm going to put Stefan in here because I don't think I've done Stefan. Whoops, I can't spell. You know what? I'm looking here and writing at the same time, and that's not working too well. And talking. Yeah. Mary Penner says, love your shirt. Isn't that nice? Look at this nice Nzymes shirt. Roberto has a cat, so I've got a little bit of cat here. And Marcel Venevo says, Nzymes got lots. Yes, you do. You are a big supporter of Nzymes. Glenn Cowie, I don't think I got Glenn. But again, if I put your name in twice tonight, everybody, and I call it, and you've already picked a prize, a gift from Nzymes, you can only win once tonight. And Gail says, never heard of this product, just wait. Brenda's going to tell you all about it. Kelly Hilton says, good evening. Craig says, I'm anxious to try the food. Oh, he's going to try it himself, maybe.
This? You mean the dog food, or which is something we'll talk about later? But,
yes.
But, I mean, yes, to try it yourself, absolutely, because it's all the same.
Yeah, Derek Lucier says hello, and Carl Freeman says, where's your red shirt? And I've been wearing it all day, but I'm wearing the Nzymes for this thing.
I made him take it off.
Made me take it off, and to music too. It was interesting. So this is Brenda, and she's going to tell us about Nzymes. She's going to tell us about what it is, what it does, and you've got a spiel down probably after all these years, eh?
Oh gosh, yeah, I kind of do. My story of how this all came to be was in December of 2012. We had our little 4-year-old dog, Bella. She was a Pomeranian Japanese chin cross. She became paralyzed. And so we rushed her to the vet, and to be told that the only hope that we had to fix her was if we sent her to Minneapolis or Saskatoon for a minimum $4,000 surgery, which we didn't have. I was stay-at-home mom and, a single income. We didn't have that kind of money, but it also didn't have any guarantees. So it was a really tough time for me of figuring out what am I going to do with my dog. I didn't even hardly understand it myself, what it meant to be paralyzed, and here my little dog was broken. So it was the second night that she was at the vet. And I was outside at that time. I was normal. We had only one other dog. And I was standing in the middle of my backyard on my sidewalk, and I just looked up at the stars and I said, show me the way. Show me the way, because I don't know what I'm supposed to do, because everybody's telling me, put her to sleep, don't make her suffer, do the right thing. And so I had my moment, and when I went back inside the house, something told me to go sit on the couch and grab my iPad, and so I did, and I opened up Safari, which is the internet, and there in front of me was www.nzymes.com, open to the paralysis page, where there was the stories, the videos, the testimonials of all these people who had used this stuff or this stuff to help their paralyzed dogs walk again. And so it was like, if it can do this for these dogs all, then I have nothing to lose, right? So Daryl came home from work and I told him, like, don't be mad at me. I just spent however many hundreds of dollars it was on this stuff. And I'll never forget, because he looked at me and he said, did this. He said, there, dear. I know you've got a big heart, but mark my words, that dog is never going to walk again. And so, you know, he didn't think she had any hope. He didn't believe in this because, I mean, it sounds too good to be true. And so the vet allowed us to bring her home if we agreed to keep her in the kennel for 6 to 8 weeks. And of course, I'm going to agree to anything just to have my dog be able to come home. We got the Nzymes granules, on the 5th day after her being paralyzed. And 9 days later, she took her first steps. Wow. And even the vet didn't believe that it was possible that this dog that had been in such terrible shape was able to be walking again. So by the time 6 weeks came around that we could have opened up the kennel door to let her out, she was running and doing stairs. So it was like this, like there's something to this. But I had also started giving, we were only had one other dog and one cat at that time, and they were both seniors, and they were arthritic, they had cloudy eyes, and I started giving this to them also. And within no time, literally a number of days, they were chasing each other around the house like they did when our dog was a puppy. And that's when I knew that, you know, there's got to be something to this, because these animals don't know they're getting something different. And to see that kind of reaction out of them, it is that good to be true. So that's where my whole story began with the animals, because of what I went through. And I'll never forget how I felt when my dog was paralyzed, and, you know, everybody's telling you, like, do the right thing. And you don't know what is the right thing to do. But in my heart, I knew there was something more. There was something more that I was supposed to be doing. And clearly that was what this was supposed to be. But I never wanted anybody to feel the way that I felt that night, right? I had nobody to turn to. I had nobody to say, there, it's going to be okay. There was nothing. It was a very bad place to be. So I vowed then that if I could ever help just one more person to not feel the way that I felt that night, then Bella's paralysis would have been worth it. And here we are almost 10 years later, and I've worked with just under 1,000 paralyzed dogs, and it's one of my greatest strengths. And I've learned a lot over the years with, you know, doing some extra things, adding some more supplements into the mix with this, depending on what the animal's needs are. But so that's where it began for the animals. And it's just, it started off with so much of working with paralysis animals, allergies, autoimmune diseases, seizures, like you name it, from A to Z, any health issues, this stuff can help.
And the story she just told you about, Mike has shared us on the page. You can check it out later, a YouTube link that's called Bella's video on YouTube. Is that right?
That's her recovery video. Yeah, and it shows her all the way from her dragging like a seal to how day by day it started getting better and better to when she's like running down the back lane. You'd never know that dog had been right. And
you use this supplement here?
I did. That's all I had at that time. All I knew was the Nzymes granules, which would go into their food, and then the treats. So the treats, these are the only treats I give our dogs now, or, you know, they might get some dehydrated liver or lung, but this is the only other treats they get. And so that's all I had at that time.
Marcel was saying B-Nut was also paralyzed. That's right. And look at how B-Nut's moving around now.
He was paralyzed for a year before he came to me.
And he says, Brenda, Dave would like the Nzymes People supplements.
Yes.
So did the People supplements come first, or did the Furry Friends come first?
The animal stuff came first.
Came first?
Yes. And so, but you know what though? We can also take these.
That's what you were saying.
Yes.
Just have to look at the pound ratio.
Exactly. Yeah. And even though it's, you know, that it because it's for animals, you know, you have all the legalities of saying, you know, not for human consumption and all, but that is just legalities, and that's what I've been taking for years. Like I'll rotate, I'll go back and forth sometimes. It just depends on how my day is, if I want to shoot 2 teaspoons of this back, or if I want to take, you know, the pills instead. Either or. I like this a little bit better because it has more of a punch, right? Because it's loose already, so when it hits your body, you're literally, what this is is this is living nutrition. Every single piece of what is in here, what is in here, what is in here is living nutrition.
And it's non-GMO.
Non-GMO. But you know what though, even that in itself, like I know like in now, like everybody wants non-GMO and now it is, but whether it was or wasn't for a number of years, we didn't know that. But when people would ask about saying, oh, well, is it non-GMO? You know what, Dave, for me, when this all happened with Bella, at that time, I myself had been suffering with Lyme disease for 36 years, and I was really, really sick. And after seeing what this did for my paralyzed dog, my arthritic dog and cat, it comes to the point where you realize, again, that these animals don't know they're getting something different. So what can it do for me? And I ended up having a conversation with the vice president of Nzymes. His name is Stan. And I told him about all the things I'd been through in my life with my migraines, my colitis, the Crohn's, the everything. And he said, you've got too much yeast in your body. And it didn't make sense to me then because I'm a girl. If we have yeast, we would know, right?
Yeah.
Well, and I never, right? So it was one of those things that it didn't make sense to me until I learned about all the medications that I'd been on my whole life, right? I'd been a guinea pig my whole life. And there was just drugs after drugs after drugs. And so that's where my immune system got weakened and I was full of yeast, but I didn't know it. So after having used this on Bella and Nico and Gabby, our cat, and I started using this, that's like literally day by day by day, everything changed.
And everybody, anybody who's just come on recently, we're going to do a draw tonight, and we're going to do a draw for 30 people. We're going to pull names out like we did at the Camp Hope draw. And when we pull your name out, we're going to ask you what you want. And you can get one of these, or you can get one of these, or one of those. And Nzymes will ship it to you. So you'll have to get the address to Brenda or to us so that we can get you the address, and it'll be shipped to you. So by watching tonight and by making a comment, just saying hi to Brenda or by putting Nzymes, we will put you in the draw. Like, for example, Karen says, oh my God, I need some of that. So you know what, Karen? I'm writing your name, Karen E., and putting you in the draw, and 30 of you are going to end up with a gift tonight from Brenda.
Well, it's not just from me. It's you'll see on there Mike Stansbury.
Yes, who's online right now with us.
He's the president of this company.
Thank you, Mike, for
he's the one that
bringing this out for everybody.
When I talked to him about saying, can we do something for these people? And he was like, absolutely we can. Just so that's why, I was saying, like, was it unrealistic to say, like, 10 and 10? Because so 10 and 10, but I forgot about the treats, and we got to do those too. So, so this is thanks to Mike. Mike will be the one. Mike and Kara will be the ones that will be taking care of the
getting it out there.
Yes.
Barbara Sheffield Smith says, I love the Nzymes. So I'm going to put Barbara in here. And we've got a comment from Kara. Says, I saved my dog Denver from a yeast issue. He was black and white and red Dalmatian who only adding enzymes to his diet, he went back to black and white. Del living his best life.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, she did something really neat too when she started with the Nzymes, because she's a Dalmatian breeder. When she started with the Nzymes, she only put Denver on it.
Right.
And she left the female Dottie without. And then after a bit of time, and I don't even remember how long it was, what she did is she lint rolled her sleeves on a jacket she was wearing.
Yep.
And she went up to Dottie, the one that was not on Nzymes, and rubbed her sleeve on it, and then went up to Denver and rubbed her sleeve on him, and then went like this. And we have that picture, and it's like, it's crazy because Dottie was shedding like crazy and Denver was not. And that's I always say to people, because people always think you have to have a sick animal or something has to be wrong in order to take this. But, even if there's nothing wrong with your animal, one of the biggest things is, does your animal shed? And of course the answer is like, oh my gosh, I vacuum 7 times a week. With this, it is practically non-existent. If you add the enzymes and then also do into a really good meat-based diet, we do raw. We feed our animals all raw. You can go up to our dogs and grab a handful of their fur and you might get 1 or 2 hairs into it. Like we had a border collie for many years, and with border collies you take and you pet them and you get that big line of fur, and you didn't get that with our dog. And it was incredible because I'm so not used to our animals like that they don't shed. I find it just crazy when people's animals do shed, because I'm like, how do you put up with that, right? Like, and hairballs, cat hairballs, it's something that hasn't been a part of my life in like 10 years. And when people talk about fur balls, it's like, oh my gosh, like I haven't had fur balls because they don't shed. So therefore when they're cleaning themselves, they're not getting all of that fur inside of them.
Frenchie was wondering if this would help with ear infections.
Yes, but to start with that, though, the first thing we need to find out is what food he's got his animal on, if it's a dog. Because
But what about for himself? Like if he's taking the adult one?
Is it for him?
Is it for you, Frenchie, or is it for your furry friend? We'll ask that question and get an answer from him. And anybody joining, this is fantastic. Enzymes to get the word out to you. We're going to give away, we're going to draw 30 people's names for product tonight. And later on, we're going to give you a code for a percentage off as well.
Yes,
so,
Mike will provide that. He's got a special one that he did just for you for Canadian Trucking Magazines.
Fantastic. Oh no, for my dog. Sorry.
For his dog.
Sorry,
Okay,
Frenchie.
see, good.
Sorry. And your name's in, Frenchie.
If it was for you, we could do that too. But so what we have been taught, or I guess taught is the word for it, over the years, that we're supposed to feed our animals grain-free foods, right? Grain-free, grain-free, grain-free. But what they are not is they are not starch-free. So there's 5 big no-nos in pet food. No corn, no rice, no potato, no wheat, no tapioca. In the body, those are converted into sugar. And sugar becomes yeast, just like it does for us, right? We know that well, don't we?
Are you feeding any of those to your dogs? Robert's got chocolate labs, which you love.
I know,
she wanted to steal your chocolate labs.
I just might. Yeah, they're my favorite. I could have one of each color. But yeah, so it's the food. So if there's constantly recurring ear infections, that would tell me there's something in the food. So can we use this? Absolutely we can. But what this is going to do is this is going to push out of the body all the free radicals, all the toxins, and the yeast. But if we're putting a food in that is filled with corn, rice, potato, wheat, or tapioca, then we have a constant battle going on, right? So something has to change. And doing a food change is the most easiest thing you can do. And it's incredible. Like I just today was sharing another story of a gentleman that I met about a month ago. And his dog had been diagnosed with DM. She was 14 years old. And she was having a really hard time. She couldn't hardly get up. Getting her upstairs was almost impossible. And the evening I spoke to him, or the day I spoke to him, he had ordered everything from Nzymes, the granules and the treats and whatnot, but he had nothing for the here and now. And he says, is there anything that I can do for her today that's going to make a difference? I said, yeah, put her on raw food. So he went out and he bought her some raw food. And the next morning I got a message from him, which I shared on our Telegram channel, where he said, like, I can't believe it. She's like getting up, she's like doing amazing. And all he did was change the food before any of this even came to be. But when an animal is raw fed, they absorb 90% of that nutrition. So when you have a weakened or unwell animal, you give them this, you're going to give them more power. I always use the analogy of grandma, right? If you have 90-year-old grandma in a care home somewhere, and say you want her to go for a walk with you through the park outside, are you going to feed her a bowl of corn tortilla chips, or are you going to give her a steak, right? Which is going to give her that stamina, that strength to be able to do, and that goes with the same with the food. So if we could take a look at your food, Frenchie, to see what is all in it, and to see if maybe there is something that is causing these ear infections. And if we can change that, then absolutely this is going to help, because that yeast is going to get pushed out. Sometimes it can get worse before better as the process begins with this, because everything is coming out of the body. But I have lots of tricks in my back pocket for
Nice.
helping animals getting through it. So
One of the things I was going to talk to you about people issues is you had Lyme disease, right? How was your sleep before you took this? Were you having any trouble sleeping at all? Or because what I have a question from Glenn is he's wondering if he takes this, whether it will help him sleep better for people.
Yeah, that's always one of the first things that when people start taking them that I say that's the first thing you're going to notice. And I've had people who have gotten back in touch with me after a couple of days and still, like, they say they're embarrassed because they slept for 12 hours.
Oh,
right?
nice.
So it really
Nice.
does. You have a lot more energy and stamina throughout the day. And then at nighttime, you know what? The best way I can describe for me what it was like delicious. The sleep was delicious. Right? Like really, really good sleeps.
Excellent.
And then the next thing that comes along is once it starts to do with the sleep and all that, the mind, right? The brain fog, all of that begins to go. And it's the old cliche saying of feed the body, feed the mind.
Exactly.
Right? So, and the same as in animals too, like with animals that have neurological issues. Yeah, we just got to feed the mind a little and everything changes.
Exactly. Kara was saying horses do so well on this too. I had a gelding suffering from thieves. Horse I'll let you read all this because you know what she's talking about.
Okay, yeah. So suffering from Heaves, horse asthma, or it's like what COPD is in people.
Right.
He lost 100 pounds, and after putting onto the granules, after about 4 months, he could breathe and eat again. Yeah, it was incredible with the change that happened with Bergen. Huge change.
That is fantastic.
And I've got another friend of mine who also has horses, and she had a horse that, and I don't know, I know Kara will probably say she knows what it is, where the hooves were. There was something wrong with his feet. And the farrier had come out and said, like, it's bad, right? There's nothing, like, horses cannot grow new feet.
Right.
And so she put the horses onto enzymes. And the next time the farrier came, he was shocked. Going
on how strong their hooves
because
were.
he was growing new feet.
Yeah.
And then he was like, is it this stuff? And then she had sent him over to her. He had just on his own and went to go work on somebody else's horse's feet and had found the same thing there. And it said, like, you must be on the same thing that Julie's using on her horses, right? Because there's so many things that it can do. Like when you give the body life, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. It's so simple. Because for me, where I was years ago with taking so many drugs and so many meds, I had a place in my kitchen cabinet that was just full of bottles that take this. If somebody would have told me over 10 years ago that one day taking 2 teaspoons of something was going to make me better, I would have laughed at you. Because how would that be possible when I have all of this? And I wish I would have taken a picture of all of that stuff before I went with my arms and all fired it into a black garbage bag, because it really was. The 2 teaspoons of this was all I needed.
And how do you take the 2 teaspoons? Like, do you take it with water? Do you mix it with anything? Or?
So you can, like, if you're somebody who has smoothies, throw it in with the smoothies, right?
Yeah.
If you say have like yogurt, throw it in the yogurt, sprinkle it on your ice cream. You can sprinkle it on salad. You can sprinkle it on anything that you're going to eat. It only has a light, kind of almost like a nutty kind. Well, you're going to get to try it and see.
Oh,
right?
yes. I'm going to definitely
light,
try it.
Taste, right?
What does Kara say there? She says
laminitis or navicular. Yeah, that's what it was. That's the horse that Julie that had with.
And Glenn hasn't slept for more than 2 or 3 hours in a long time.
Wow.
So Glenn, you're usually lucky. So when we pull your name tonight, we're going to pull 30 names. Say you want this, and take 2. Or would this do the same thing? The human pills. Yeah. Or even the human tablets will do the thing. Keith says, well, if you draw my name, I will take cats, enzymes. I load at 4 a.m. Well, this is for cats, dogs, horses?
Yes, it's for any living body. Like my daughter's got 2 rats, and her rats always live fairly decently because they're getting a living nutrition. Any living thing. Years ago, we had fish tanks. And so what I would do is I would take and I would grind these up even finer. Like they're fairly small, but for fish, when you have smaller fish, some of the pieces are too big. And I would grind them up in an electric coffee grinder, and we would use it as fish food. And it got to the point where our tanks were so full of babies all the time that I'm like, I'm done. Because it helps with breeding, right? So even with people too, I've had people who haven't been able to get pregnant for years and have tried so many different things and exhausted. They keep losing their babies and start them on the enzymes, even if, like, it's ideal as if both of them do. But even just the woman, the first people I ever had come along, they'd been trying for 10 years. And within like a month of her being on the enzyme, she was pregnant, and she made it everything all throughout the pregnancy, and which was incredible because she had lost every other baby in the last 10 years. And when that baby was born, she'd had a doula there for the birth, and the doula had said her placenta was so healthy that she wished that legally she was able to take a picture of it, because she had never in her career seen a placenta that was that healthy. But you get living nutrition and everything in the body begins to work as it should. And so yeah, it's any living body, anything. So I don't think we have found anything that we don't right away we got to give it enzymes, right?
Absolutely. You talk about placenta. When Robert was born, my doctor was a real joker and stuff like that. The poor nurse, I guess no one had ever done that to her before, but when he took the placenta out, he says, I haven't had lunch, could you fry this up for me and put it in the tray? And the look on her face was just, oh my God, can't believe.
But yet, nowadays people do that though, right? I wish I had known about it when I had my 3 kids, because I would have done it.
And Kara was saying 13 puppies born to a mom on enzymes and no problem feeding them all.
Yeah,
wow.
The milk, yes.
And Suzanne says, do I got Suzanne in here? I'll put that. I'm a smoothie kind of gal, says Suzanne. Before that, Glenn was saying, okay, Dave, you should make everyone here a smoothie.
Right?
Yeah. So let's see, who was it? Suzanne. I'll make sure, Suzanne, I may have put you in already. I'm hitting like on your comments. And if I didn't get you in there, I will definitely, or pardon me, if you're in there twice, you can only win once tonight. But we are going to pull 30 names tonight. So there's a good chance you're going to win if I've got your name in there. Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like.
Oh, cool.
Do you think
Almost
we can
looks
do
like
that?
oatmeal.
Like, how do you get that close up to here to show? Can we, do you think?
Yeah, just put it right in front of that camera and it will show
Tell
it.
me
or even
we're
Robert could bring us a plate or something.
Is this showing?
Let me just see it. There, yes, it is.
So
showing
you can
perfect.
see how it's the granules, how it's like a powder in there. So how I take these granules, when I take them, is we take I pour this out into a glass. It's like a glass pasta jar that we have in our kitchen.
Eh?
And
they saw it perfect.
Okay, perfect.
They saw it perfect.
And what I do is I have a baking teaspoon in my jar where my granules are, and so every day when I take my enzymes, I'll go and I'll take 1 scoop of it, and then I'll take a sip of my iced tea or chocolate milk or whatever I've got, and swish it around, wash it down. Then I'll take another teaspoon, pop it in, take a sip, swish, and then down it goes. It's that easy. But you can put it on your cereal. You can sprinkle it on your toast. There's just everything. You can put it on anything. The only thing you can't do is don't cook with it. Because if you cook it, you kill it.
Yeah, don't cook it.
Yeah.
And Shirley Ellery says, thanks, Dave, for bringing Brenda on tonight. She's very informative. They're loving you. And the Marcel, I guess he's answering about the horses. He's just saying, staying out of trouble, Kara. And Mike gave us, he's the president, right? He gave us the website, which is www.enzymes.com. And I'll put that in later too, so that when you see the video later, tomorrow, you can just click on it. You'll say learn more, and you'll just click on it. It'll bring you right to the enzymes, right to the website, so you can see more and everything else. But here's proof in itself. She is so sold on this herself, because one is how it has rescued her loved furry friends and how it's rescued her from Lyme disease and that,
Yes.
and made her as healthy as a horse.
Well, I don't know about a horse, but
I heard you going, nay, when you're at the thing. And you know, showing the granules, I'm sure glad you showed it in there, because you know what I did is the other day, I took some Cheerios out of the box because I don't know why, and I left the bag on the counter, and poor Angie baby came in and says, oh my God, are those seeds for donuts?
you're kidding.
Of course.
Jeez.
I'm so
See?
bad. I like to throw that in case Angie's on, so she'll beat me later, everybody. So people that are coming on right now, we are going to do a draw in about maybe about 10 minutes, and we're going to draw 30 names, and then we're going to watch, and we're going to get you to say what you would like, because there's the granules, and here's the treats, and there's the human ones,
Yes.
which Marcel and Brenda says I should try and show everybody how I become a Superman, especially if I'm going to be going for surgery, and that will build up my immune system.
You know what?
And that.
You'll heal so much quicker. Like people who are on this, like so say we had known about all of this with your other stuff, with your back and that, we could have this could have made so much a difference.
Oh yes.
But what I always do, so like if you ever go to have like any dental work done or any sort of medical procedure, I will take more. Like I'll do a double dose, give my body even more of those tools.
That extra kick.
And then the recovery is so much more quicker because your body is already in a healthy state, right?
Yep.
So
the famous Walter Hebert's on.
And he says, Walter.
He says, hi, how are you guys doing? Well, fantastic now that the famous Walter Hebert is here.
Right?
And Mike says you have a 10% coupon code for this channel. Use code NZ10-4U as in 10 uniform.
For you. Do you see what he did there? It's like that's pretty SMRT, Mike.
Yeah. So Nzymes 10 for you. I'll put that code in the comment sections when I do all the extra stuff on this. I go on and I'll put the links in there. I'll put everything in there so that when you look it out and you share it to your pages, you'll see it come up tomorrow, probably by noon or so. And that way you can spread the word to your good friends about this. Glenn says, can I buy this somewhere here in Scarborough? Of course, I'm saying that it's Scarborough, Ontario. But they can contact you and just have it shipped, right?
Yeah, all they need to do is contact either, like they can even reach out to Kara, Kara Gardner, that's on here. She's the Canadian distributor for us, so she ships out everything in Canada. Here in Manitoba, if there's somebody, then, you know, here in Winnipeg, then I cover that. But everything else she does, absolutely, yes. Yes.
So this code will expire on the 31st. On Halloween, spooky. It expires at midnight on Halloween, something like my pumpkin. But will still be honored by phone long term. Just mention this channel when you call the toll-free number, which I'll put on there. And Walter Hebert says, hello everyone. Me and Maria had a very good evening today. It was a blessing. It's good to listen to you guys. I'm very quiet man. I'm a very quiet man.
Right? Isn't that a big change, Walter? Usually it's you that's here in this chair beside you, right?
Yes.
We're not going to sing though, are we?
No, we're not going to sing. Well, maybe we might. I don't know. Is there an Enzyme song?
Oh, you don't even want to know.
You know,
you don't even
you know what we
know.
would sing for Enzymes?
What?
We'd say, a long time ago when the earth was green, there's more kinds of animals than you'd ever seen. There's cats and rats and elephants, as sure as you're born. The loveliest of them all was a unicorn. It's because they all ate the ensigns, they loved it so much. It made their bodies just really tough. They used to run around and sing to Brenda all the time. Give us some more enzymes and make us fine.
Wow. Maybe, maybe Mike might like that as the new, because there is a song that is to Enzymes, and he specifically told me not to let you hear it because then you would constantly be, it's a jingle and it gets you and it gets in your head.
Oh, I'm going to have to get that jingle and sing it like tomorrow or something.
No.
And Carla says, you're a funny man too. I think he's talking, to Walter. He's a funny man.
Yes, Walter's
and
funny man.
Patricia says, way to go, Dave. And Walter says, you said keep working. Don't go to Canadian Idol.
Huh?
Yeah, I have to just keep working. I better not go to Canadian Idol. I won't win, says Walter.
Yes, right.
And
yes.
Carla Maddox says, one of the Irish Rovers was my cousin. Carla, I had personal dealings with the Irish Rovers, and I actually sang with the Irish Rovers.
Really?
And I was at the Irish Rovers pub. I provided the security systems for the Irish Rovers in Calgary, in Banff, in Toronto, and all their places that they were, and their main offices that were in Calgary, Alberta. So I knew them all, such beautiful people, such wonderful people, and I had the privilege and honor to actually drink with them and sing with them and have fun with them.
Cool. So hence you know the song really well.
Oh, all the Irish Rover songs. I don't know the words very well because I mentioned drinking involved there. So. And Amy N says, don't stop believing.
That's
yes.
Right. That's the song.
Yes.
That's the song.
And Craig Cowan says, after the other night, Dave, Maria probably turned him in. You got let off the hook because Angie was sleeping. Yes, she was. And Rennie Wagner. Hey, are you in, Rennie Wagner? I'll make sure you can only win once, but in case I didn't get your name in, we're going to do some draws here. And we're going to go for the lovely Nzymes here. Do you want to discuss the treats and that and how they work?
It's the same thing, right? So some people, if you have a bigger dog, you're not going to want to continue to sustain them on just the treats because you're going to blow through them so much quicker. So that's where the granules and the treats are different. So say you have like a little foo-foo Yorkie dog, right? That's like a 3-pound dog. You don't need this bag of granules, right?
Right.
That's where a bottle of treats would be just perfect. And actually, they just came out, and I don't have any with me, but they just came out with another thing of the treats. It's called the tiny treats. Oh. So they're smaller than what these
for the
ones
little
are. For
puppies,
the little ones, yeah.
Like the little Shih Tzus and the
little foo-foos is what I call them, right?
Foo-foos.
So it's for me, I have found over the years, especially when I work with animals that have mobility issues, whether it be arthritis, paralysis, whatever it may be, I have found that using the two together makes a world of difference. And I don't know what it is. I've discussed this with Mike many times. I'm going, what is it? Like, what is it that's in here? Is it the this? Is it the that? And I don't know, but I can tell you that myself having mobility dogs, if I just give this to them in their food every day, and I don't give them their treats, with Beanut, for example, we'll begin to notice he'll be struggling, right? He won't be able to come flying up the ramp outside or getting over the threshold to go outside. And I do that sometimes. I do a lot of that where I stop doing something just because I want to make sure, right? I keep doing it over and over and over because that's what science really is, right? Is doing the same thing over and over and over. And that's so that it just is enough for me to know, you know what? If you have a dog with mobility issues, you use both. Yes. Right? So. And
Walter just confessed in public that, Dave, I have feelings for you. LOL.
Oh, my goodness.
So there's a bromance here now.
Yeah, there is. Well, you know what? I guess I'll share you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was going to steal me away, Walter.
Yeah,
and Marcel says, you don't have to put my name in. I have lots on hand, and Brenda stole my boy. I'm glad she did because he's happy. And you're happy because you don't have to look after so much.
And he's a lot of, like, it's funny.
Beanut's a lot of work.
Well, Beanut,
oh my God.
That's nothing to me. The paralysis stuff, because I've been doing it for so long.
But in the truck, when Beanut has to go, Beanut has to go.
Right,
and Marcel would have to clean it up.
Yes.
And same as sleeping at night in bed, Beanut would have to go, and then Marcel would have to do laundry. Yes. And so that's saving Marcel. And anytime he wants to see Beanut or get any love from Nico, he just visits you.
I know. And you know what? Like we've always for years, because we've always had so many dogs coming through, our house, the kids are always like, oh, Mom, we want to get a puppy. We want to get a puppy. And we've always been, we're not getting puppy, right? We're not going to do puppy.
Yeah.
And what are we doing? Puppy.
Yeah.
Right? But I can't imagine everything with Marcel, of how it's worked out that Nico has been able to stay with us, because we just recently took in a new foster. She's that pretty little dachshund that I see.
That was
she's
very
the most
pretty.
beautiful
Yes.
dog I've ever seen. And if we didn't have Nico there, then all we would have had Beanut. And because dachshunds, they congregate together, right? They all know their own kind, and those are the dogs that are together. Beanut is now, he's 12 years old, so he's the dog that wants to lay in his bed, leave me alone.
Yeah.
But Harper, she's only 5 years old. She still wants to play. She wants to go. And because she can't get the old man to play, she's got her little young love. And those two, they sleep together. Like, if he doesn't know, like if Nico doesn't know where Harper is, he goes crazy. And if she is outside and he is inside, or vice versa, and he hears her, he will do whatever he can to get to his girl. So it's kind of, we weren't planning on having a Nico for so long, and now he just is, and I can't imagine it being any other way, because what it has done to our dog pack, having this puppy in the mix. Everybody's playing, like all my old seniors, they're all playing, and yet they never really did before. But you put some young blood into there, and it just sparks everything up. So I'm really happy to have that little guy, and I love him. I love him.
My favorite cellular repairman is on right now, Cohen Johnson.
Is he really?
Yes, I don't know if you know him at all.
I know him a little, yes.
He says, Cohen Johnson, hi Dave, hello mother, with
hi,
some
Cohen.
hearts. Hi Cohen, thanks for joining us. And I think Carl Freeman was asking about the human enzyme tablets. Mm-hmm. Like, how many of those do you take? And
well, so the thing about these things is that there's the recommended amounts to be taking, but that's really just the guideline. There's no right or wrong way of what to take. So if you look at the bottle of this and you look according to the weights, right? So say from 81 to 150 pounds, it's take 3 caplets daily. So 3 pills a day. But yet for me, because I look at us as the same way as I look at the animals. The animals, anything over the age of 7 is considered a senior. So we double dose them, right? So even though your dog might only need 1 teaspoon, let's give them 2 because they're aging, right? We want to give their body its fuel, right? That's really what this is fuel. So the more fuel we can put into them, the better off they're going to be. So for somebody like me, I can get away with taking 3 pills a day. I don't. I would take 5. And that kind of is like a double dose, same as I only need 1 teaspoon of this, but I take 2. And I think a lot of it is because I was sick for so long. Yep. My body was so weakened that I just need the extra. And I've had the last couple of days, there's been a few times where I felt like I'm coming down with something, like sneezing. I've been sneezing like crazy, and a little bit that I feel congested, a little bit of a cough, and just a little bit of the burning in the back of the throat. And all I've done is I've taken like 10 of these pills or 4 scoops of this. The more I give, the more my body can fight whatever it is. So there is no right or wrong way. Yes, there's a recommended dose, but you might find, as I did, that taking 5 a day, that's what keeps you ticking at your very best. And gives you that. Right? Exactly.
Yeah. Mike was saying, sorry.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
No. Mike was saying the treats are an enhanced version of the granules. The granules are the raw base ingredient, solid in bulk form. The treats are enhanced with antioxidant vitamins, minerals, and beef liver. Most pets really do love the treats. Either choice will deliver the enzymes to the body.
Okay, we're going to have this discussion right now. Okay? When you see this word, what do you see?
Enzymes.
Enzymes. Remember I told you the other day it's like enzymes, right? Because when people hear enzymes, they think, oh yeah, I've got those digestive enzymes, probiotics. It's like, no, it's enzymes with a capital N.
With a capital N. So now you're just like this right here, folks.
Right.
Shauna Gray is in. Hey, Shauna, you want us to put your name in here? Shauna, you know what, Shauna? Oh my God, this would be good. She's got a page called Adventures with Storm and Odin. And Odin is a little bit under the weather right now. And it would be nice to see her giving Odin some of this and see what happens. Rennie Wagner says, are they hard on the kidneys?
No. No, in fact, they are very good for the kidneys, like with animals and with people too. I've had animals who have come through to me, or just people who have come through to me for help with their animals who are in stage 4 kidney failure. And in the Western medicine world, there's nothing it's let them go, right? But yet again, what we do is we hit, like I'm always big about that, I say we hit the reset button, right? What are you feeding your dog? What's all going into it? Let's hit the reset button, put them onto a meat, whether they want, like, and if people don't want to do raw, that's fine. There's really good meat-based kibbles out there too, right? So if you want to go to a kibble, then we'll go to an Origin or a Canna or, Nutrisource, some of the really good raw food or kibble foods. But that's where it's the most important, is about changing that food. Right? Because again, like I said before, we can do all of these things, but if we don't hit that reset button and get the proper diet going into that animal, that's going to make all the difference. Right?
Absolutely.
So when you have renal failure, kidney failure, a lot of times it's because of the garbage that's going into the body, right? All the toxins, all the additives, the chemicals that are in those processed the foods that wreak havoc on the internal organs. And so when you're on this, it makes everything work as it should. It allows, your organs to detox themselves. Instead of your liver working so hard to keeping on constantly, your kidneys working on, they're able to just do the job they're supposed to, because the rest of the body is doing what it's supposed to, because it's getting living nutrition.
Exactly.
So it takes the stress off of that. So yeah, like I've had people with their dogs where they've, been told they're supposed to euthanize them, and they change the food, they get them on the enzymes, and then they go back months later and the vet's like, why are you here? And they're like, well, I just want to make sure that, the kidney failure, the renal failure, whichever it is, has changed, because look, my dog is still alive. And they test them again and it's gone, and they're like, if they didn't have those tests from before and after, you wouldn't know. It'd be like, that dog wasn't in renal failure. Yeah, they were cats too.
And we love our furry friends. That's why I wanted Brenda on here so bad with enzymes, is to let everybody know that there's something that we can do. And the other advice she's giving, I'm just going to read a couple of more comments here, because a couple came in, and Shauna Gray says, I'm looking to make my own freeze-dried meals for Odin. Oh, as long as they're all meat. That's terrific.
Yeah.
Amy N says, my girls, 2 dogs and 2 cats, are really loving the enzymes. The enzymes, along with raw food, has changed my old girl Chili's life. Kara was saying, spontaneous knee dislocation every 3 months all my life, and after being on double dose of enzymes, no more knee blowouts. So these are real, and like the YouTube is there's a couple of more videos we'll put out, where the reason why Brenda is so excited about this and has so much knowledge about this is she's used this. She's beaten Lyme disease and a few other issues using this. And not only that, but she has puppy dogs that have had, and I use that term loosely because 12, 13 years old, but I call them all puppy dogs, that have had serious issues, like we were talking about Beanut, paralyzation, who now with enzymes runs around, and stuff like that. So, that's why I wanted to get this out to you. Dave Erickson says, I've had 7 knee surgeries, and I'm lucky to get 3 hours sleep a night. Will this help with pain and therefore sleep? Yes.
Right, and again because with pain, that's from swelling and inflammation, which is usually yeast caused, right? And it just, when you get rid of the yeast in your body, all of a sudden you don't have the aches and pains anymore. And that's one of the big things, like when people go onto the enzymes. So we're used to, in the Western medicine world, that if something is wrong with us, we take a pill, we feel better. This, for some, it can be like that, where it's like Cinderella stories, where the next day, usually it's a couple of days. Usually, people say, well, when will I begin to see results? With animals and with people, usually by about day 8, is when things really start to come together. But that's not saying that it's going to be day 8 for you, or that it would have been day 8 for me or for anybody else, because again, every single body is different. Right. So it's you can change into to suit your needs, but as soon as you get rid of that yeast, right? But I've had people who have come and started taking the enzymes, and they're on it, and they're almost done their bottle or their bag or whatever, and they say, you know what, Brenda, I don't think I'm going to keep doing this because I'm not noticing any difference, right? So I'll give you an example. I had a couple of ladies a number of years ago. They went and they went halfers each on a bag, or at that time it was in a tub, on a 2-pound thing of these granules, and they both were using them. And then they were running out, and they were going to Mexico for a couple of weeks. And I said, well, do you guys not want to take some with you for the trip? And they're like, you know, Brenda, to be honest with you, we're not really noticing any difference. I'm like, hey, that's fine, right? Because I'll never push anybody, right? Like, I'd rather, like, you find out on your own. And so 2 weeks later, as soon as those 2 ladies landed on the tarmac in Winnipeg, one of them was phoning me, and she says, Brenda, are you home? We're coming to get enzymes. I said, what? Why? She says, we were miserable. We had no energy. We couldn't sleep. And she says, and you know what? I didn't know I had arthritis in my hands. And it's like, oh, but you said it wasn't doing anything.
So here's the arthritis question. Because Glenn Cowie says, my mom has limited mobility, has arthritis in her knees and hips. Would this help? Absolutely. There, you just answered that.
Yeah.
Just answered that question.
Yes, it's just like it does for the people is... I mean, I've worked with paralyzed people too that they said too that they'd never be able to get up and walk again, and they did. And, you know, it's incredible when, you know, this is something that is so simple, and yet it can do so very much. And people think, you know, you get asked, well, like for the animals, like, why don't my vets know about it? Well, why do you think the vets don't know about it? Yeah. Right? You don't make money off a healthy animal, right? Same as the raw diet. Like, so many of the vets will, you know, say, no, you shouldn't feed your animal a raw diet. You're going to worry about E. coli, salmonella, bacteria. And I was there once too. And I allowed what others were saying to get to me. But what I never realized then, though, is that unless you're feeding rotten raw, you got nothing to worry about. Exactly. Right? And I have fed my dogs rotten raw because I have brought the food out to thaw in the summertime and forgot about it. And it got left out in the sun. And the next day the package is all blown up and it's green and it's gross. You know what? I still fed it to my dogs. You know what happened? Nothing. Oops. Right? Nothing happened because if they were lost out in the woods somewhere, and they came across a rotting deer carcass, what would they go do? They'd eat it. And they'd live, right? So their bodies are adapt to it. So that's where, like, doing a raw diet, it's not something that's scary, you know, and or the vets will say to you, well, no, like, I wouldn't recommend it. There's no studies done on it. That's not true, because there is a study that has been, it's now over 20 years in, by a gentleman. He's a friend of Mike and I's. His name is Thomas Sandberg, and he's known as the animal naturopath. And he's got an incredible story, but he's into it's over 20 years now of a raw feeding study. So when the vets say that, oh, you know, there's no studies on raw food, yes, there is, but you know what there is no studies on is kibble. And we don't have to look very far on the internet to go find thousands and thousands and thousands of incidents where animals have had terrible outcomes because of contaminated kibble foods, right? Yep. So I raised 3 kids with, you know, raw feeding dogs, you know, and I spoke to somebody earlier tonight too, and she was like, well, I don't want to do raw because, you know, my dog rubs his face on everything. It's right? Nothing's going to happen. Like, this is what they're adapt to do. They're carnivores, right? Yes. So it's something that, like, when I first began with these enzymes years ago with Bella, I didn't recognize the importance of food, right? I didn't really understand all of it. And Enzymes has got more products. They've got a couple of more really, like, kaboom products that it just, like, we do all of them, right? And so do the animals. But I don't even know where I was going with that. Yeah.
And next weekend, I guess we're going past 10 now, but and we haven't done the draw. But next weekend, who is it going to be in here with you?
Kara.
Kara we can do a live video
Absolutely.
again. You know what? We should see if we can do like a 2-hour video because there's so many questions, so much that people are asking.
Absolutely, yes.
But it's getting 10 here, which means it's 11 in Ontario and 12 in Nova Scotia.
But it's what now? 10?
Yeah.
It's only 8 Vegas time. I live on Vegas time.
8 Vegas time.
I live on
Vegas, let's
time,
go.
right?
So maybe we'll start doing some draws.
So, but the thing though too is that we'll let people know that, and maybe we can post onto here, or Kara can, or Mike can, to put Kara and I's email addresses, and even Mike.
Oh,
we'll leave Mike out of it.
I'll definitely put
us
your
girls will handle
emails.
it.
Yeah.
So that way, if anybody has any questions,
They can email
that they
you.
can email us, and like, don't be afraid to reach out, because I would rather that I'll spend hours on the phone with somebody, right? Like the longest I've ever did was 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
One phone call,
Yeah.
right? But it was somebody.
Well, Craig talked to you 3 hours.
We had a good chat, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. You just start going, and the more you talk about it, and the more things you realize, right? I'm gonna go back to those people that are using the enzymes and then quit. Sometimes you don't realize all the things it's doing for you until somebody else mentions it. Like I'm recently, well, not that recently, but it was like this year, I had a conversation with a lady where she told me about that, would this help for, she always has a metal taste in her mouth. And it was like, oh my gosh, do you know that years ago when I was sick, I always had a metal taste in my mouth too, and I cannot tell you when it went away or nothing, it just is gone, right? So the longer you're on it, the better things become, and as your things needs change, take an extra teaspoon, take an extra 2 teaspoons. You can't overdose on it because it's just living nutrition.
Yeah.
Right?
And non-GMO.
Non-GMO. I know that's a big deal to you, and yet it's
Yep.
not to me, because
I
didn't know it was non-GMO.
People like hearing that all the time,
I know
so that's
they
why
do,
I
and
said
yet
to
that's
throw
what
that
I always
in.
said. If it's non-GMO and look what it did for me, I'll happily take my non-GMO. So
should we pull some names?
Sure.
All right. So, because what I'm going to do while we're talking, look, I pulled a bunch because it takes time for. Oh, look, Frenchie.
Look at that.
Karen Nolan, Keith Bazin, Patricia Tarr, Carl Mannix, and Gail Cross. If you want to come on right now and let us know what you'd like, whether you'd like the granules, the treats, or the people pills, come on and tell us right now, and I'll put on the back of these what you'd like. Frenchie, Karen Nolan, Keith Bazin, Patricia Tarr, Carla Mannix, and Gail Cross. Keith is right here in Winnipeg, which is good.
Good.
And
so he can just come and get from me if he wants.
Look, Craig says dig deeper. Okay, so Frenchie says the enzymes, but the granules. Is that what you want, the granules? Or the treats? I think he wants the granules, I think.
I can understand that.
So, Frenchie, I'm going to put the granules here. A big G for the... I was just going to put a big G. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Do you want to?
I can do
okay.
that. I can
She's
do
going to
this.
write now. So, let's see. While we're waiting for those names, Carla says me. Oh, yes, you're there, Carla. And what did you want? Me? Awesome. I'll try the people first.
Okay.
So, the people food for Carla.
It's people pills.
People
yes.
pills.
Yeah.
And while we're waiting for that, whoops, we got Chris S., Vicky S., whoops, and Mary Penner.
Yay.
I saw Mary Penner
Awesome.
on there, and I'll draw a couple of more if you're hearing your names. We got your names out here. Oh, look, Peggy Zerkowski is in there. Shirley Allery. I must put Shirley's in there twice, so I'm going to put there because can only win once. Dawn, in Winnipeg.
Dawn D.
Now, we already got a Mary Penner, right?
See?
Yeah,
You
so
were
I put hers in
duplicating.
twice. Yeah, because I was just writing. Shauna Gray. Hey, Shauna, you're there. What do you want to try? Do you want to try the granules with Odin? Or do you want to try the treats with Odin? Which would you like to do? Let's see what... Vicky is saying the treats. So Vicky S. is the treats. Patricia Tarr, I'm here and I'd like the granules. So Patricia.
Okay.
Yeah. So she wants the granules. Shirley's saying, are the treats soft?
They are. I'm gonna open one up here and show.
Okay.
We'll see,
I can
we'll
always take that home to feed, or Robert could feed some to his puppy dogs. Where are the puppy dogs? In a bedroom or something?
Yeah,
So, okay, Dave, you're gonna have to let me know if I'm like in front of this or not. Does this show?
Yep. You're
Okay,
right
so
there.
this is what the treats look like. What I do for my cats is I just take and I break them in half. And they're not soft like what you would get like in a tender victuals type thing. But they have no problem chewing it up, especially if you split it in half. My cats will take them whole, but I do prefer to break them up as it keeps them busy for a little bit longer. Hey, buddy, do you want some? Hey, do you want some? Come here. Come over here. Come here. Come. You want to come? Does the cat come on? Can you see the cat?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. There's the pussy cat. You can see the pussy cat.
We'll go see. We'll go see.
So we got some more names. We got Brian Nestle,
That's
Craig
awesome.
Cowan. We
Cat
got your
seeker.
name, Craig. Stefan, Barbara Smith, Cecile Frickus, Nancy Hogman. Did we do Patricia Tar already?
Yes, I have her here
Okay,
for
so
granules.
twice I put her in. Gail Cross. Did we get
Gail Cross is
Okay,
right here.
so I put it. God, I've been doing a lot of doubles, eh?
Man, you
I'm
know,
bad.
see next weekend Carol will take care of your name, so I can guarantee you there won't be no doubles.
Exactly.
then.
and I think, did I already do an Amy Enns?
Amy, no.
Okay,
No.
Amy and Glenn Cowie. Hey, Glenn Cowie. And Linda. She's from Furry Hobos and Highway Heroes.
Awesome.
I
Do you
gotta
know
share
that,
this to them.
That Linda years ago, and I don't know if it was still her. Has she always been the one running this?
Her and Margaret.
Margaret, okay,
but
I knew
she's
Margaret
running the
because
page.
they were the ones who were going to bring me back Beanut years ago.
Shauna wants the treats, please.
Okay.
Shauna Gray.
Look at the cat's coming back for more.
Oh,
that's awesome.
The cat
hey?
loves it.
Cat approved. There, buddy. Look it. There you go. Okay, so who was this just
So
now?
Shauna wants the
Granules? No, the treats, right?
wants the treats, yeah. Peggy Litter-Zakowski wants the one for the humans.
Okay.
Okay, so Peggy for the humans. And we got Vicky Sharp already, right? We got her.
She was here
I think
somewhere.
yeah, I think we got her. Brian wants the granules.
Okay.
And he says he'll meet me at the truck stop.
Tonight?
Oh, not tonight.
Oh.
No, tonight I got to pick up John by 11. Let's see. So we got this. Craig Cowan.
Yeah.
We pulled his name. He would like the granules.
Okay.
And I can deliver that to him. And did he win granules the other day too or something? What did he win? Yeah, I think he won granules. So that's 2 bags of granules.
Yeah.
He'll be able to look
Well,
after
you know what,
himself and his puppy dogs.
But you know what, though? What that would be good for then, because then he can start using it too, right?
He
one
should.
for the animals and one for himself and share.
He needs that. Mary Penner says she wants the people pills for Mary Penner.
Okay.
That's Mary Penner. And Amy Enns says granules, please. Granules, please.
Yes. Of course.
And Barbara Sheffield Smith. Oh, that's right there. I put Barbara Smith. Barbara Smith says granules.
Okay.
I hope I should keep track because we're only doing 10 of each, so I should.
You know what? Well, we'll just do it as it comes. It
Okay.
doesn't, because
As
you know
long as
what
we
I
cap
thought
at
about.
30,
but
we're-
you know what I thought about was
Yeah.
going. You know what? Because we had 10 of this, 10 of this, and 10 of this. But you know what? Though there's going to be people that like. I mean, if it was me, I would want the granules, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
I think we'll just do whatever it works
Okay.
out to be. It is, and we'll just fulfill. Hello, how are you?
And Kara definitely has me covered for names next week.
Okay, so Barbara Smith. Look at this.
And I'm going to pull some more names while
Hi,
she's
do you
feeding
want
the
that?
puppy dogs.
Look at that. There
Carl
we go.
Freeman. What would you like, Carl Freeman?
Hi.
Rennie Wagner.
Hi.
Susan Cadu.
Yeah,
And-
so we need to know.
Rhonda R.
Ooh.
Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. Dawn Frickus. Karen E. I think we're close to 30. Almost. Two, I think a couple more. Debbie Nesbitt.
Look at, they're all coming now. See?
Yeah.
It's good stuff
Oh,
when
they
the
can
animals
smell it.
are all coming.
Gail Cross. Jason Nickel.
Okay, that's a new one.
And Keith Bazin. There's Keith Bazin. Now, I know Keith is driving. And he said something, but we'll see what he says. So Linda says, thank you. Treats, please. Baxter says, thank you. So for Linda...
Are these all the names you've pulled out? Guess
now
you've got 34.
Oh, do we?
Yes.
I went over.
Oh, I know.
So Linda here, she wants the treats.
Yeah, so does this one. Hi. Hello.
So treats for Baxter.
Okay. Here you go. This is awesome.
Oh, this is fantastic. And I saw your name, Anna Neufeld. I did, because I pulled your name. Did we already write on there? I don't think so.
So we have Vicky and Patricia and Shauna, Linda, and Carla.
Here's for Anna Neufeld. She's coming to Camp Hope to get hers. Oh, and what did you say you wanted, Anna? I'm so crazy here. Let's see, what other names did we pull here for the people? Cecile says, hey, what happened? Cecile? Oh, Dawn Frickus wants the people pills. So Dawn, this is Dawn Frickus there. And Cecile, your name was pulled too. Cecile Frickus, what would you like? Rennie Wagner says, I'll take the granules. He's in Saskatchewan.
Ew,
so
where in
he'll
Saskatchewan?
be easy to get. I can't remember the time. Oh, and Cecile wants the people food.
Okay, so back me up here a sec for Rennie is the granules, right?
Yeah, Rennie's granules and Cecile is people food.
The people pills?
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
hang on.
And Glenn Cowie says, people, you missed me, people, please.
Okay.
Where did it, Glenn Cowie? Oh, there's Glenn Cowie.
Come here, buddy. Did we not already have him?
No, he wants people food.
Okay, people food.
People food. He was having trouble sleeping in that, so... Oh, and Keith says he's parked. So Keith, he'll take the treats.
Okay, Keith B. Is it Keith B?
Yeah, Keith B.
Where is he parked?
I think he's parked near Calgary, but he's coming into Winnipeg.
If it's somewhere, I guess I guess we can
deliver to Keith.
Sure.
So I'll let you know which ones we can deliver and which ones have to be.
So Keith B was what?
He was the treats, I think. Yes, yeah, the treats for him.
Okay.
And Suzanne Cadeau says, "Oh yeah, granules would be good in smoothies."
Suzanne.
Yeah, there she is.
Okay.
So
granules.
she's granules. Let's see. Debbie says she'll take granules. The granules are very popular, and we already did Susan Cadeau, right?
That
one
one's
you
over
did
here,
already.
Yeah.
And the Shirley Allery, I think there's her there.
Yeah.
Shirley Allery says, I'll take the treats.
Okay.
Keith says, I'll be home tomorrow evening. He'll be back into Winnipeg. We'll arrange to meet with you, Keith. And so we still have people that haven't been in here. If you don't
Karen,
be in,
Karen.
you may not get.
Then
Karen Cross. Look, I had twice.
Anna Neufeld? What was with Anna?
Oh yes, she said. Anna Neufeld, you'll have to tell me again. I can't find your thing. What Anna Neufeld said that she wanted. Anna Neufeld, did you put my name in? Yeah, we got it right here. Yeah. And what was it you wanted, Anna? So this is fantastic, folks. You guys are going to be so happy. Mm-hmm. You're going to love this. And your pets, look how excited they are about this.
I know.
Did we do Shirley Allery?
Yes, I believe that one's. Look at here, buddy.
Okay.
Look at. You don't have to eat the crumbs. I'll give you some new stuff. Look at it. Oh, sorry, I'm making a mess.
That's fine.
You should go try some of this and see what your boy here would do.
Okay, is there anybody else that's something to do?
I'm trying to get my dog out here because he's sitting in the chair, but he's being a weirdo right now.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do is how about you just take your own bottle?
Yeah.
My dogs will take them and just run away with them. So you won't know what to do?
So we haven't heard from Rhonda R, Jason Nickel,
Yeah.
Dawn, Carl Freeman, we haven't heard, Karen E, Steph, Chris, Nancy Hogman, she's probably driving,
Yeah.
Barbara Smith, Karen Nolan,
Go see your
and
dad.
Gail Cross.
Go with dad. Go see. Go see. Go see. Go see. Yes, I know. That's awesome.
We're leaving on Monday to drive to Mexico for 6 months, so won't be home to get the mail anyways. Well, Trinity, we may have another draw soon, and we'll make sure to look after you. Carla Manick says, do we message you, Dave, with our address? Or maybe email you, eh?
Yeah,
I'll put Brenda's email and email her. She'll have the list of all the winners and email. If you're going to be in Winnipeg, we can get that to you in Winnipeg. If it needs to be shipped, it will be. Barbara Smith, oh, there she is, says granules, please.
Okay.
And Shauna Gray just parked for the night herself. And Shauna Gray, you can send your information to her, but Shauna comes to Winnipeg, so we'd be able to deliver it to her. So a lot of people will be able to deliver to. Alan Hordell says, I finally got on live. That's Alan Hordell from Nano Silver.
Awesome.
Canada Nano Silver.
Do you know what? I have to say something in regards to their products. So the last weekend at the market, my oldest daughter Thierry, she has a lot of issues with, and it's just girls, right? Where it's like, oh, Mom, do you see this? Mom, do you see that? And so she had all these bumps on her face where, to me, she looks perfect, but to her, not so much. And so when we were at Camp Hope on Saturday, she saw those creams. And she's like, Mom, can we try? Because we make our own colloidal silver too, so I know all about this stuff, but I just add colloidal silver into my own lotions and whatnot.
Oh, look, giving him some raw meat.
Some raw. Hello, look at this. Oh my gosh. And so I bought her one of those tubes of that nano silver cream.
Yeah.
And she told me last night, she says, Mom, this is the best stuff I've ever had on my face.
Wow.
And that's a 15-year-old kid. So for her to be just like, look at me, I'm so happy, because what did it cost me? Like $20, whatever. It was
and
like
they
nothing.
sell it at Camp Hope?
Yes.
Camp Hope has nano silver there. There's a lot of people thanking you, and Cecile Fricka says we can pick it up in Winnipeg. Just let us know when and where.
Okay, well, if there's people in Winnipeg, I mean, they can come to my house too.
Yeah, and
right?
Cecile
and then
and
that
Dawn,
way,
they both won.
If you want any raw dog food samples, I've got that. That's something that, maybe we'll touch on that more the next time.
Yes,
talk about the raw
we have
food.
about 2 hours.
Yeah, because we have our own exclusive line of the raw dog food here available in Winnipeg. So
and Shauna says, Dave,
samples.
can you come see me this week? I'm on. Yeah, I'll make sure that if you're home for the weekend, I'm going to be seeing her on Saturday and Sunday. Maybe you can come out to Camp Hope.
Yes. If there's anybody here that is coming to Camp Hope on the weekend, for sure, we can bring it all to there, and that way can meet face to face.
Yes.
Right, and I like that.
And Alan says from Nano Silver, that's www.canadaNanoSilver.ca, says, can you please tell me about these products and the lady's name? I sure can, Alan. You can just watch. We did over an hour tonight, an hour and a half we've done.
Wow.
And you can rewatch this, and we're going to go live again on Saturday next week. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be eating ribs.
I know.
From,
I'm so excited for that.
Blue Haze Barbecue. Oh. But I would love to talk to you more about it. We need to get more of this information out to talk more. But I've got John Wayne getting off in Oakbank, Manitoba at 11 o'clock tonight. And if I don't go pick him up, he's going to
Is that your
beat
son?
me up. Yeah, that's my son.
And his name is John Wayne. Mike will appreciate that, because his dad, the owner and founder of the Nzymes company, he used to be, was it the farrier? That he was John Wayne's farrier.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Very
like all
nice.
of that, it's like all those people from back then. It's like, Mike's dad knew them.
And it's a big name to live up to, but a great one. And as I say, everybody like Shirley Allery, thank you, Brenda, for coming on live with Dave. She will be there. Says this has been an awesome live. Cecile Fricka says thank you both. Just PM us the details for pickup. Yes, Rennie Wagner, thank you. You need my address, or do you still have it? Well, I'm going to get you to email the address to Brenda because they actually have distributing in Saskatchewan, right where you are. So you'll be able to, right? Is that where she's from?
That's where Kara is by Neil in North
So can get it right to them. Shauna Grace says, not this weekend. I'm still almost 11 hours out. And next weekend I have dinner to get together with my friends. I'll get it too for sure. And just have to sort out the food now, says Craig. And Glenn Cowie, Dave, Brenda, can you please put Brenda's company name up? Thank you. Yeah, it's in the comments in the top. I'll put the click to the website and everything else. It'll all be there, and it's for you to, by tomorrow, you can just click right on it. You'll have her email there. You'll have the websites there. You'll have everything, because this I'm very excited about. As I say, Molly's been on it a week, and I already see a difference, and we're going to be giving more. And Rennie says, I need the email. We'll be putting it up. And Kara put the site, www.nzymes.com.
Yay!
So nzymes.com is where it is. And I will put that there so that it's an easy link. So thank you, everybody.
Well, and can I just add one thing in?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, there's so much more, but maybe we'll start. Maybe we'll end up doing like series, Dave, like where we're going to talk about
we may have to, because we got to talk about all the different things, the food that they should be feeding, and we should go. We got more than this. We may have to do 2 nights a week together. So with a CTM shirt,
right?
Too.
Yes.
But,
I should have had one long ago.
Yeah, Marcel.
Yeah,
Marcel.
Right? The other thing too that I'd like, and maybe we can add it on. Maybe Kara can do it in the chat thing too. Where we have recently gone over onto is Telegram.
Right.
And it's called the Nzymes Pet Health Channel, and it is absolutely amazing to go on there and read the people's stories, because now as people have, like, these are all new people that we've developed this channel, and now as time has gone on and the people starting to see their results, like we've got a gal in Honduras, she lives in the jungle, and what she has been able to do with the street dogs there.
When you talk to her, do you actually get on the phone and say, in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the enzymes scream at night, roar!
Well, you know what? She'll be watching. I don't know about tonight, though, because they always have power issues in Honduras, but I'm sure we'll get an answer to that. They can do
the rerun. So, folks, we're going to close down so I can get John Wayne, but we're going to do more of this. We're going to do next Saturday. We might do one before next Saturday so we can talk to them and talk to about
Kara
it.
comes in Friday, so even Friday night,
and we'll get the feedback from those that get these products.
Yes.
The email will be there. The website is there.
And the
we'll
Telegram
make sure you
channel.
And the Telegram channel. Mm-hmm. And folks, thank you for joining us tonight. I wish we could go for 3 hours tonight, but I got to go.
I could.
About 45 minutes away to get poor John, and he'll be kicked outside in the cold. So I got to go get him, because Robert will beat me up if I leave his little brother sitting, right? So from the two of us here, we'll do the Keep On Trucking together. 1, 2, 3, and we'll go Keep On Trucking. From the two of us here live, talking about enzymes tonight, and going to post a lot about it on this video. Thank you for joining in. And 1, 2, 3, keep on trucking.